It's kind of weird. They started the champion select music, but not both teams aren't sitting down yet, so I don't really get it. But pretty exciting picker band probably going to come out here. Um, PSG has been known as a team that can constantly take games off of RNG when they had Maple and River, but with those prospects being shipped out to North America, I don't have as much faith in them, and they certainly wavered quite a bit in groups. LeBlanc band away is a good sign. There's no real counter to it because even in the Lissandra, even when that is paired up with the Viego, it sees a lot of trouble in those matchups. Lucian is one of the best blue side picks because of the flex potential. In that same conversation, Wukong being able to be flexed into the bot lane and potentially in the top lane. Wukong needs to be banned away. Graves is a pretty good nod into a first pick Twisted Fate if we ban a Diana. And Xiaohu's been looking great on the Twisted Fate pick. But Diana didn't stop them yesterday against Evil Geniuses. So PSG is going to ban it, which means Ari or Wukong are the first picks available, which will be countered by a Viego pick. Ezreal still on the board is also a pretty good option. Unified's bot lane has been popping off, and Kai Wing is also known for the Leona pick. Hanabi is known for the Gangplank pick. So knowing that they have a chance between Ari and Wukong, they ban the Viego response. So jungler's going to have to go deep into something like the J4. It'll give them early prio, maybe even the Volibear for Wei. Both interesting choices. Wukong ban. So Ari first pick for Xiaohu. And it'll be answered probably by the Zoe, as people have been looking to counterpick the Ari with Zoe. I wonder what jungler they'll go alongside the Zoe though, because I'm not a big fan of the J4 Zoe combo. Zoe Ezreal here would be pretty cool too. Ezreal's a pretty good combo with it, or you can also sync up CC with that Leona pick that Kaiwing is known for. Do not pick this Lee Sin. do not pick the Lee Sin. Holy shit. Inspired had a pretty good game on it, and Juhan's Lee Sin also is pretty smurf. Going for the Vex into Ari is kind of interesting. But it's either going to look towards the Callista for Unified. So Callista's really good along supports like the Rakan, the Rel. Yesterday we even saw next to the Gragas. Kind of interesting looks. Gwen is countered by Gangplank in some scenarios, so I'd watch out from Hanabi. But Hanabi hasn't been showing picks like the Jax or the Tryndamere into the Gwen. So you're going to look for a potential Alistar pick from Kaiwing to threaten the Gwen in Shroud. Otherwise, she's going to run away with the game, for sure. Very, very strong pick in the top lane with that Gwen. Nocturne would actually be a great pick here. Looking to not necessarily outscale the Lee Sin, but apply more pressure in a window where Lee Sin starts to become irrelevant, that level 6 window. Also, the Shroud buys time for a Nocturne ult to come in. Vel'Koz has been seen as a pick that could potentially threaten the LeBlanc early lane. It would be interesting if we see it into the Ari, but I think the Vex is definitely a better pick, if not the Zoe. I'm not a big fan of the Lee Sin and Callista though, because RNG just perma outscale. So they could go something like a Kaisa lane would be really good, or even the Ezreal to kind of thwart the early pressure from the Callisto could be big. Alistar is banned away by PSG. Wild. Ming's been really known for the Alistar pick, but I think it's PSG's biggest counter to this Gwen. But maybe PSG will come through clutch with the Tryndamere or Jax pick. Another pick that's okay into it is the Gangplank or the Ribbon. So kind of interesting picks. Gangplank's banned away though, so be very interested to see what Hanabi's answer is. Gragas support could also do numbers for it, because generally Gragas' kit is really good into the Gwen, but you don't really want to lane against the Gwen, because pre-6 Gragas is a dog water champ. Ezreal's banned away, that would be really good at dealing with the Callisto, so pretty good bans from PSG. We'll see what the final top counter is in the top lane for Hanabi. The Cannon's good. Cannon's actually a really good pick here. I can't believe I didn't think of the Cannon. Notably, we saw Cannon counter pick by T1's Irelia by PSG yesterday. Oh, the Gwen pick. Or the Vlad pick into the Gwen. That you're overloading on AP damage, and Vex really hates that though. And when you look at the AD damage, it's pretty lackluster, pretty low range. Gala going a scaling lane here is kind of Giga Chad. Especially if they pick away the Rakan away from the Callisto. They could also go Braum into Vexeld, which has a pretty good interaction leaping to Tristana's cannon, or Rocket Jump rather. But instead we'll just see early support for Ming. Looking to contest that early window from Callisto, I suppose. Callisto Taric would be cheeky as fuck. But there's not too much AP to the point where I don't, or AD rather, where I don't necessarily like the Taric pick. But it's definitely spicy as fuck, but I would be looking for something like the Rakan or the Rel. Even the Gragas into the Gwen matchup for later team fights. Renata's also a good counter into Nautilus. There was an angle yesterday, I forget which bot lane. I think maybe it would have been G2 against, I think it was T1, but they had a chance to pick the Renata next to it into like a Leona or Nautilus bot matchup, but it doesn't have a lot of good synergy with the Callisto. But it's still a pretty good matchup into double dive champs in the bot lane, so we'll see an interesting one here, but I think the Vex pick is a little worse for wear, especially with other AP threats in the Vladimir being on your team. Makes itemization too good, I think. But and also I think generally just skill difference is going to lend towards RNG here for sure. But thanks for watching.